All right, we're here with Matt Flego from OVR Technologies, who is a client of mine. So I'd just like to ask him a couple of questions about his experience with working with me at Ultrasonic Advisors for ultrasonic transducer development. So yeah, welcome to this testimonial video, Matt.
Yeah, sounds great.
So yeah, the first question I have is just to generally describe your company and product.
So here at OVR, we make a real-time olfaction accessory for mixed reality training and simulation and corporate wellness applications. And we achieve this through a platform that we call the architecture of scent, and it leverages software, hardware, and scentware. We also branded that term, scentware. And that's all to create this seamless experience of olfaction in mixed reality.
So how does ultrasonics play into all this? This sounds like pretty complex. It has a lot of programming, a lot of there's different systems, integration with virtual reality. How does the ultrasonic part play in?
So it's really important that the speed or the loop, the cycle of having scent and then not having scent is very quick. You'd be surprised at how reactive your epithelium actually is. We determined it's somewhere around a 200 millisecond loop.
Okay, so you feel comfortable with me sharing that you guys are using a novel ultrasonic atomizer, so something that's not currently available on the market, something that's very specific to what your application needs in terms of aspect ratio and function frequency. You're using a technology along those lines.
Yes, yeah, it's a patented technology that we have. And yeah, the atomizer is really the lifeblood of our operation here.
Awesome. So what brought you to Ultrasonic Advisors for consulting work? Like, what was the state of your company, questions, things you needed to get done?
So fundamentally, we really needed to understand the characteristics, the electrical and physical characteristics of our atomizer better. I don't have a background in piezoelectronics or a hardcore background in electrical engineering. And so Ultrasonic Advisors has been a fantastic resource for me. And that's about as simple as it gets.
Okay, awesome. So some things that you worked on with me was characterization, and then understanding, let's say, let me know if you if I'm going into too much detail, but like quality control, the transducers, just plain understanding why they're behaving, what could be the paths for optimization, what things are important to look at, because you might find a lot of you might find a lot of information online as to what you're supposed to look at, but as to what's really needed and kind of getting a focus, kind of clarity, I would say.
Yeah, I would say, from a need standpoint, we had to quickly scale into manufacturing, and we had already come up with a design, which in some ways is kind of the opposite of what you might do when you develop an atomizer like this. But we found something that worked, and the process of characterizing this actuator really helped us to perfect its design and its manufacturing process.
Yeah, awesome. So what would be an obstacle that would have prevented you from engaging?
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
If I had not found you guys,
okay.
I probably would not have engaged. But
okay.
Luckily, did a great job of creating educational content on YouTube, and that is how I wound up finding your company.
Yeah, awesome. So I think we may have already answered this, but what was the result that you feel that you got from my company's services, and maybe in terms of even business kind of objectives that you were able to achieve or further?
I would say manufacturing efficiency and better understanding of our process in general.
Yeah. So now that you got you've achieved a higher level of I guess manufacturing quality and process, understanding of your process and the technology in general. How did that make you feel after you kind of like achieved like you felt like you got into a higher state? How did that make you feel? It's not a typical question for engineers,
it's
but
great.
It's great. It's just great.
It's just so great.
I'm gonna put a speech bubble over here. Like, it's just great. Okay.
That's the testimonial. If you take one quote from this, it'll be, it's great.
You have to have that on the bottom there. Like, it's great. By try it. You won't regret it. Okay. So, let's. I have a couple more questions. I think you answered a good amount of them already. What specifically did you like working with about working with me and my company?
I think that the flexibility is really an important part, right? I know that you have a model that works for you in terms of it's kind of like a subscriber model, which I totally get. We are a subscriber model as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I really appreciate that you have the flexibility to work with us as we're sort of scaling up, right? You've been pretty flexible with us, not just in terms of the sort of levels of your subscription service, but also in terms of timing and availability, and that matters a lot.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that that worked. That's working well for you. So finally, I guess I think I know the answer, but would you recommend my services? And if so,
yeah, definitely, and
okay.
I have and will continue to.
Okay, awesome. And is there anything else that you'd like to add that you think a potential lead would want to know?
I think it's important to highlight that your company works well for a business like ours that's working through scale problems.
Okay.
Not just in terms of the flexibility, but also the type of services that you're offering really work well for us because we're in this like rapid scale mode.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily mean like we're selling like hotcakes because we're a very small company, right? But our manufacturing is scaling very rapidly. And this means that we have things that come up all the time, and we really need to bounce these deep questions off of you. And that experience has been really good for us.
Awesome. I really appreciate you sharing all of that. I'm sure my potential leads will really benefit and get a good idea about what it's like working with me. So thank you for this testimonial, and
yeah, of course, happy to.
We will talk soon. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good.